In the high-stakes corridors of power, beauty is often just the opening bid. Meet Shilpa, a socialite known in every elite circle from Indore to Bhopal. Clad in a silk sari that screamed old money and dripping with calculated charm, she walked into a five-star hotel with one goal: a multi-crore government tender. Across from her sat the gatekeeper, a seasoned bureaucrat who had seen it all. They spoke for an hour, the air thick with technical jargon and false smiles. But Shilpa could see the wall going up. In a world where corruption is the baseline, sweet talk is just noise. He wanted more. He wanted the kind of currency that isn't printed on paper. As he turned away, unimpressed by her pitch, Shilpa whispered, "Just listen to me." He stopped, a cynical smirk on his face.
Just listen to me.
You don't have enough to offer, Shilpa.
I can't show it to you here.
"You don't have enough to offer, Shilpa," he countered. But Shilpa didn't flinch. With a slow, sly smile that suggested she knew a secret he didn't, she replied, "I have something to show you, something that will make that tender a certainty. But I can't show it to you here." He expected a briefcase full of cash. He expected a kickback. But as the door to the luxury suite clicked shut, the atmosphere shifted. The booze began to flow, and the rigid professional walls started to crumble. In the soft, pink glow of the room, Shilpa dropped the consultant persona. She became bold, magnetic, and irresistible. She offered him a deal no amount of money could match, an intimate moment of surrender, a lingering kiss, a touch that promised total secrecy, and an encounter that would bind him to her forever. By the time the sun rose, the tender wasn't just a possibility, it was a promise. But what the bureaucrat didn't know was that in this room, he wasn't the one in control. He was the one being caught. In the heart of India, a web of desire, power, and betrayal was spun. A scandal so audacious, it shook the political foundations of an entire state. This isn't just a story of crime. It's a chilling exposé of how ambition twisted minds, how innocence was weaponized, and how the highest echelons of society became prey to a meticulously crafted trap. Our story begins with Shilpa Jain, a woman whose charm was as potent as her ambition. She didn't wield a gun or a knife. Her weapon was far more subtle: human connection.
Hennessy. A pleasure to see you here.
The honor is ours. You look stunning.
But beneath the surface of sophistication lay a sinister design. Shilpa, they say, wasn't working alone. She built an empire of influence, seemingly legitimate, but with a dark secret at its core. The core of her operation? Young women, often from humble backgrounds, lured by promises of a better life, financial security, or simply a foot in the door of high society. Shilpa, with a magnetic persuasion, allegedly convinced them that their allure was their greatest asset. These girls, initially unsuspecting, were slowly drawn into a world where boundaries blurred and morality became a currency. They were coached, prepared, and then deployed. Their mission: to cultivate intimate relationships with powerful men, bureaucrats, politicians, businessmen. And when the moments of vulnerability arrived, when trust was seemingly earned, hidden cameras would capture everything. These weren't mere flirtations. These were orchestrated encounters, meticulously planned to yield the ultimate leverage. But Shilpa couldn't be in every hotel room at once. To build an empire, she needed a fleet. Enter Megha, a small-town girl with big city dreams and a bank account that was perpetually empty. When she first met Shilpa, she didn't see a criminal. She saw a goddess. She saw a woman who wore more gold on her wrist than Megha's father earned in a year. The grooming was masterfully subtle. It started with gifts: a designer dress, a high-end smartphone, a trip to a salon where they stripped away her small-town look. Shilpa was like a big sister, whispering in her ear, "You're too beautiful to be poor, Megha. Use what God gave you." Slowly, Megha was addicted to the glamour. She didn't realize that every gift was a debt being written in blood. Then came the favors. It started small, accompanying Shilpa to a dinner, sitting next to a wealthy man, laughing at his jokes. But the favors grew darker. One night, the laughter stopped. Shilpa told her a VIP needed special company to sign a deal. When Megha cried, the sisterly mask dropped. Shilpa reminded her of the expensive gifts, the money sent home to her parents, and the fact that she was already tainted by the world they lived in. Megha was trapped. She wasn't just working. She was being trafficked under the guise of high society consulting. In those dim-lit hotel suites, the spicy allure turned into a cold reality. She was forced into encounters she never wanted, all while a tiny, unblinking red light in the corner of the room recorded her shame. Shilpa didn't just sell Megha's body, she sold her soul, and then used the recording to make sure Megha could never, ever run away. The setup was always the same. A luxury suite, expensive perfume, and an invitation that seemed too good to pass up. While the wine flowed and the encounters grew intimate, the walls were watching. Hidden in clocks, mirrors, and charging ports were spy cameras, capturing every compromising second. These women weren't just luring targets. They were performers in a play where the climax was a life-ruining video file. Shilpa herself wasn't just a manager. She was reportedly active in the field, using her own charm to secure contracts worth crores.
The money is done. I have him right where I want him.
Exactly what you paid for.
You won't get away with this.
I already have. Try to stop me.
But for the younger girls like Megha, the spicy encounters weren't about pleasure. They were about survival. If they tried to leave, they were reminded, "We have you on camera too." Shilpa wasn't a lone wolf.
I told
She
you
was the
not to
queen bee
follow
of a
me.
hive.
They are
Alongside her
falling
were
exactly
Payal
into my
Dayal
trap.
and
Give
Rekha
them the
Soni,
signal.
women who turned manipulation into a high-performance art. If Shilpa was the face, Payal was the hunter. She was the one who scouted the college campuses, looking for girls like Megha, young, beautiful, and desperate. She didn't just recruit them, she owned them. For the innocent girls, the encounters were a nightmare of performance. They were told that if they didn't satisfy the client, their own families would see the videos. They were forced into acts that pushed every boundary of their morality, all while the sisters watched through the lens of a hidden camera. It was a cycle of sexual exploitation where the victims were forced to become predators to survive. The betrayal, once recorded, became an unbreakable chain. These women, now entangled themselves, were reportedly used to deliver the demands: millions in rupees, lucrative government contracts, or political favors. The stakes were astronomical, and the targets, terrified of public exposure, often complied. Until one engineer dared to break the silence. The arrest sent shockwaves across Madhya Pradesh. Shilpa Jain, along with other key players, including young women who participated in the encounters, found themselves on the other side of the law. This wasn't just a few individuals, it was a
Back this
complex
evidence now.
network unraveling
Check the desk
layer
for
by
documents.
agonizing layer. The scandal didn't just expose corruption.
Yes, sir.
It
Found
revealed
some
the
papers
devastating human cost of unchecked ambition and exploitation.